ain't nothing. Fuck 'em, girl. Fuck it. Fuck 'em, girl. Fuck it. We in a club. Clubbing. Fuck 'em, girl. Fuck it. Girl. He came in here late again. Like a bitch ain't tired. But if he put his mouth on me, he might get the shit wired. Cause I done cooked, cleaned, and ironed. Took pics, porno, flick shit in private.
What's up, you guys? Hey, it's me, Keita. Okay, so real shit today. I'm gonna just be blunt about some stuff. I mean, I'm usually blunt about stuff anyway, but I just need to be extremely blunt about this. Ladies, this is geared for you guys. And what I really need you to do is to realize the difference between an engagement ring and a shut up ring. Yeah, I said it, a shut up ring. They are out there, they are real. That's basically the equivalent of a promise ring. I need you to shut the fuck up, so I'm gonna put this ring on your finger, and now I need you to shut up. So what I mean when I say a shut up ring, most of y'all already know, but for people who do not know, a shut up ring is basically when you've been in a relationship for a while, and you're at a place in your life where you're ready to get married and move forward, and the guy that you're with is not. And he's too selfish to let you go. And he's too selfish to allow another man to come in and take over, the workings that he don't want to do. So instead of being a real man and being like, listen, I'm not ready to get married, that's not something that I'll see myself doing anytime soon, instead of him being that guy, what he does is he goes out, he finds a ring, he proposes, and then it's like, okay, this should tie me over for at least another 2 or 3 years until, I'm really ready to figure out what it is I want to do. That's a shut up ring. A shut up ring is something to keep you quiet so you can stop nagging about a ring. And he gives you a ring and then never sets a date. And then maybe 10 years from now, once he realizes that there's nothing else out there for him, or he's done it all and you guys have broken up and gotten back together and you kept that ring on your finger though, now he's ready to marry you. I've seen it. I've heard about it. It was an episode that I was watching on TV a few weeks ago on, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show called 4 Weddings, and it was a bride on there who was engaged for 12 years. She had been not just in a relationship with this guy, engaged for 12 years, had given him children. They had, seriously, 12 years, like whatever 12 years brings to a relationship or a person's life, they had been through it. And then he said, the husband said, after being with her for 12 years, I realized, why not marry her? That's a fucking shut up ring. Like, 12 years, it brought him 12 years. And God knows what he did in those 12 years that, brought them to 4 weddings. Anyway, please know the difference. Know the difference. A man who wants to marry you is going to make that known. There's not going to be a whole lot of excuses. There's not going to be a whole lot of tiptoeing around the subject. If he wants to marry you, genuinely wants to marry you, he's going to let that be known. He's going to put it out there. He's not going to find 101 excuses not to talk about it. He's not going to give you dirty looks when you guys speak about marriage. He's not going to seem like he kind of conks out of the conversation when you guys have these talks. Like, he is going to be all in it. He's going to include you in his plans. He's going to let you know that if I move, I want you to come with me. If I buy a house, I want you to move in it with. Like, he's going to make you a part of his plans. A man who wants you in his life forever and has plans on marrying you, he will let you know that. He'll let you know it. And it's deeper than just shacking up. Like, any man can say, oh yeah, you can move in with me. We can do this. But a man that wants to marry you, y'all are gonna move in together and continue to plan. It's not gonna just cease and desist at just moving in together because it's more convenient for him money-wise to have an extra income in his home. He's going to include you in all of his plans. A man who does not have any intentions on marrying you or dragging you along until he's ready, he's going to be less likely to include you into things. Meaning, if a career opportunity comes along and you you don't want to go. Say you don't want to move to Texas or Atlanta or Delaware or wherever it's taking him, California. It may be good for him, but he can't imagine his life without you. So things change a little bit. It shifts a little bit. His priorities shift a little bit more towards you. He can't see his life without you, so he may not take that job in California. He may just keep looking for a better opportunity wherever you guys reside. Whereas though a man who could give a shit less and looks at it like, well, if you're not coming, I'm going, that guy probably doesn't really plan on marrying you. And if he marries you, you guys may not work out because he's just more concerned about himself. So he's good with you and he's good without you. And you want a man who's, you know, he wants you, he needs you around, he wants you around. And when you got a guy that's like, well, I'm moving regardless if you're coming or not, this is what I want to do, so it's up to you what you do, he probably really doesn't want to marry you. And you guys are going to be in this relationship until he's to a point where it's nothing else out there, so then you just run up to whatever he didn't find in the first place. So just know the difference. Be aware, be mindful of the guys who just give you a ring to shut you the fuck up. Like, don't just accept any old thing from these dudes. And I mean, seriously, guys, like, just be honest. Like, we're not going to probably be upset. Let me take that back. We're probably going to be upset, but hurt from the truth only lasts for a little while. But hurt from a lie lasts forever. Because once you lie, you break trust. And once that trust is broken, it takes forever for a female or anybody to trust you again. So when you get into these relationships and you start to see it, fellas, you start to see that glitter in her eye, and she's all of a sudden watching Say Yes to the Dress, and she's watching things like, you know, for weddings, and you see that she's all of a sudden into wedding dresses and she's picking out color scheme. Once you see that happening, please do not entertain her if that is not what you want. And what I mean when I say please do not entertain her, do not be like, oh yeah, girl, you know, my favorite color blue, so maybe we can do blue. Don't fucking entertain her. Do not entertain her. Because when you start to entertain her, it makes her feel like that is something that you want. Don't do it. Say it. Hey, listen, I'm starting to notice that you talking about wedding stuff, and I just got to be real with you. I don't think I'm ready to get married. I don't even think I'm ready to talk about marriage. I don't think I'm at that place yet. So I just need to be real with you. And then leave it up to her if she's going to be like, well, we can get there together. I'll slow down some, or whatever her reaction may be to work it out with you. Or if she goes, well, we've been doing this for a really long time, and if you're not ready to get married, I don't know where just be okay with whatever the outcome is. If the outcome is her leaving and moving on and finding somebody that's ready to give her the things that she wants and desires, you cannot be mad at that because you weren't ready to give it to her. So you have to allow her to be able to move on with her life so that the person that is out there that's ready to give it to her and is going to give it to her genuinely, let her have that. Let her have that. Do not be fucking selfish and think that it's cool to hold on when you know good and fucking well you're not ready for marriage and kids and you're not ready for it. So say it. Don't lie to her. Don't string her along. I know people, I have friends who have been with people, baby dads, and they'll be talking about marriage and they'll be ready. My friends will be like, yes, I'm getting married, and it'll be planning happening, and he'll have input, and then when it comes time to set a date, or when it comes time to start paying for shit, then all of a sudden the guy's like, wait, I'm not ready to get married. I'm not. But you've strung her along. You've made her feel like entertaining her has made her feel like this is something that you both want. So do yourself a favor. Do these women a favor and do not play along with something just to make her happy or just to make her smile, just not to argue, or whatever your fucking reasons are for just not being honest. Be honest. Tell these girls that you don't want to marry them. And I mean, that's okay. She's going to hurt for a little while, but she's going to pick herself up by her bootstraps. She's going to dust it off, and she's going to go, you know what? At least he told me that he didn't want to marry me. Now I can move on and find somebody who has intentions on doing so with me and building a life with me, and I'm not forcing him or feel like I'm forcing him to do something that he doesn't want to do. Don't go out and just buy a ring and call it some stupid shit. Like, I don't know if y'all listen. I've been watching 90 Day Fiance, like binge fucking watching it, okay? And 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 days, Jesse and Darcy, I think that's their names. Jesse goes and he buys her a ring. Darcy's been talking about getting married from the time that she got to his country, all the way up to the point where he gave her this fucking ring. And Darcy's like, oh, look at my finger, it's naked. One day, you'll put a real ring there, right? And Jesse's just like, yeah, sure, why not? One day, I guess, like, yeah, when Tom allows, Darcy chill. Like, basically, in a nutshell, like, shut the fuck up. One day, I'll do that. And it's like her last day or two there. They go to these windmills or whatever, and he drops down to one knee, which is the most dramatic shit ever. He drops down to one knee. He presents Darcy with the ring. She is fucking crying and emotional, and she thinks that all this talk of marriage has finally sunken into his brain, and he finally is giving her the thing that she's wanted the most, which is this ring, this engagement, this proposal. They're going to start this life together. And Jesse says, this is not an engagement ring. It's an appreciation ring. I appreciate you. I am proud of you. And this ring is for me to show you some appreciation. What? What did you say? The fuck is an appreciation ring? What is that? And it's basically the equivalent of a promise ring or a shut up ring. Darcy, here, take this ring. Please shut the fuck up. When I'm ready to propose, I will. You cannot put a time limit on it. You cannot make me. You can't. You just can't. So, if you feel like you're forcing him, ladies, to propose, you're probably forcing him. You're probably putting him in a position that he doesn't want to be in. And we also have to be mindful that we may be being forceful. We may be overdoing it. Like, if you're the one that brings it up all the time, so babe, I was looking at these wedding dresses. Oh babe, I was seeing this suit. Oh babe, so how do you feel? If it's always you and he seems uninterested, and I mean, my husband really wasn't into the wedding planning thing, but when I would talk to him, because he was excited to be marrying me, he helped. I mean, not as much as I probably would have liked, because I needed him, but he genuinely tried. It was genuine. I didn't feel like I was forcing him. If I asked him about a cake or something, he had an answer. If I asked him about questions, he had an answer. And it wasn't like me poking a bear trying to pull a tooth that's not loose. He was willing to give me a hand where he could. But men usually don't like planning weddings. So, but one that wants to marry you, he's going to do his best to be as involved as you need him to be, or as off as you need him to be. He's going to do whatever it is that you need him to do. But if you feel like you're like poking at somebody, then probably just don't. Probably just don't. Move on with your life. If he's not willing to compromise and you're not willing to compromise, then the chances are you both need to go. Do not accept a shut up ring. Don't do it. Don't accept a shut up ring. Don't do it to yourself. Men, do not offer a fucking shut up ring. Let that girl go. Let her go. That's all I got today. Don't do it. Don't do it. Both directions. Don't accept it. Don't do it. You'll know the difference. Trust me. If you've been engaged for 10 years, that was a goddamn shut up ring. If he refuses to set a date, it was a fucking shut up ring. That's what it was. And you have to be mindful and be okay walking away and knowing your worth and knowing your value. Do not let these men play you. And ladies, do not force these men to do something that they don't want to do. So that's all for today, you guys. Beware. Be warned. Do not say Keita did not tell you. Y'all have a great day. I might be back later on with another blog because there's some shit going on with Tyrese and I think I want to talk to y'all about it. Peace.
Where are you going now? Why are you slowing down?